Hey there guys, this is Triptych with another Fleet Ops game. We got 5 people on at once, which means we can do a 2v2 now. Today's game is going to be a 2 vs 2 on Hell's Kitchen. They just played another game that my game crashed halfway through, so I can't post that sadly. But we have Shadow de Grey and Itachi on the top right here. They've made a fine team. And then on the bottom left we have Starmaster Prodigy and Defiant, both of whom are very rusty after their time away from Fleet Ops. So, let's see, we have, cool, I think we got that. This is Prodigy as the Romulans. Defiant is Dominion. On the other side we have Shadow as Klingons and Itachi as Borg. Some people like to mess around with all the races in the beginning, and some people find one race that they really like to stick with and they like to get good. I did that with Romulans back in the day. I'd played them almost exclusively until I was okay with them. But I found, of the people who do that, most of the ones who choose a race tend to go Borg. It is pretty different from the other playstyles, that's for sure. So once you get good with Borg, if you wanted to play another race, you might find it very different. So Itachi's been playing Borg pretty exclusively and getting a lot better with it. He's learning how to build those later game fleets. And then Shadow's been playing good Klingons. Although, I wonder if he's trying to go for, well, he'll probably just get a field yard here. Yeah, but like I said, this is Hell's Kitchen, and it's a very big map. I think the game is trending towards bigger maps lately. I usually make smaller maps, but I don't know, I always had a plan to make more bigger maps later on. I just sort of figured in the early days I should make smaller maps, because a game needs a good set of smaller, like, quick combat, for shorter games maps, and then over time you could make the bigger ones. So I just realized, of the maps that I personally have made, most of them are really small. But I didn't have that intention, I wanted to work my way up. So as you can see here, Defiant is Pure Tech, and he's going bugs. To see this many this early, I wonder if he's going to bug spam. And Shadow's calling that, and immediately having his ally get dodes, because those dodes will completely crush bugs. It's not like, there's no chance. So I'm pretty sure he already got his node level, and he is optimized, of course. This is a Martok Klingon, and these Romulans are Helev. So he got this up very quickly. Okay, there go the Griffins. So Prodigy's probably going to go almost exclusively Griffins. It tends to be the best option, or one of the best options for Romulans right now. I mean, they could do Griffin Laval. Against Borg, though, let's see, the Borg won't have too many guys. It is nice the way that the Romulans can avoid building small ships, because they won't take that extra damage from the Dodes and the intercept cubes. They'll do okay with cruisers. And then, the sensor disable on these ships actually, even though it affects up to, I think, a max of 8 ships, it doesn't do better with any more than that, because the chances are kind of low of it landing. So if you have a whole cluster of these using their sensor disable all at once, it actually is pretty nice if you have against a Borg enemy who has a small number of ships, because you at least are almost guaranteed to get the weapons on a couple of them for the first 6 seconds of the battle, if you stack all of those sensor disables. So here we have Cavorts, and these guys, as you can see, everybody has their own little safe rear expansion on this map, so they're very hard to get to, I'd imagine. And then they have this other sort of a wall-up expansion. So I think once you defend this, your back expansion is pretty safe. So the people who've been testing version 4 say that in that version you tend to get more expansions overall. It remains to be seen whether that's the way the patch actually wants you to play, encourages play, or if it's because the players who have been testing for so long tend to play that way. But I can say here that once you fortify this, your rear area is going to be very safe. I mean, maybe the Klingons would be able to cloak to get back here and raid, but the Dominion are the most fortification-based race on the map right now. The Klingons can do okay when they get a yard out here, but The Borg and the Romulans, I mean, they can't really put that many heavy fortifications in this position that would defend their space. Although here we see Prodigy getting his miners over here. He's going for the sneaky, like he wants this back moon here. Which, it could pay off. He could get some free mining out of that for a very long time, depending on whether it gets scouted. And that's why on maps like this, especially the really big maps, scouting is so important. Because if the top team scouts this, they get like a Scube or a Dode or like 2 or 3 cohorts. They could come in and just crush that for free, and they would get all those minor kills for free. And the Romulan player can't defend himself at all. Like, there's no hope for that if it gets attacked. But if it doesn't get scouted, if it doesn't get attacked, he'll just have free mining forever from this moon, and I really think that's his goal. Although it's going to be risky whether these scouts see his ships going over there. That's the danger. So here, he is stalled out on production. I guess because he built so many mining things early. This can happen. It doesn't happen too often, but he has built quite a lot of freighters. And I think he's going to get away with this, at least for a while. Well, he's even going to have to wait to be able to build that. And then once he does get it up, I think that'll be enough for him to dual yard Griffins, which would be nice. Meanwhile, his ally over here has some bugs, and they are scouted. So these cohorts, I love cohorts versus bugs. It's a very fun matchup, because the cohorts, honestly, especially the Martok cohorts, because they don't have the torpedo, they'll really mess up these bugs. Like, the cohorts have the damage advantage, but they're short range and forward firing, and the bugs are 360 medium. So the bugs can continue to fire while they retreat. I recorded a game some time ago that included who were the players? I don't remember exactly who the players were, but it was a testing game for my map, The Fray. But we got to see some really interesting bug versus cohort play. There's the bug ram on that thing. So 2 bugs, but the bugs are also much cheaper than the cohorts. And there's an S2 prototype. That's going to be some tricky timing there, because there's already 2 cohorts on the field, and there's going to be more. And they'll do extra damage to the S2s. In fact, I think the S2s are pretty heavily countered by those cohorts. Although he does have the hope that by getting a lot of them, he can get enough firepower to kill off the Klingons without needing cloak detect. Oh, and he's actually cancelled the S2. He's really thinking about what he wants to do. I would recommend B8, but I wonder... Yep, there's the B8 prototype. The B8s are probably just a stopgap measure, because on a map of this size, with this kind of economy, he's double expanding. I think he really wants to get his large yard as soon as possible. And everything until then is just sort of defensive and stalling. The Klingons, on the other hand, they have an interesting choice ahead of them. They could either try to tech up or just try to mass ships. And I think this is probably just for repair purposes back here. I would expect him to... I'm really expecting to see either a battle yard or another field yard come over here, and that will really define his playstyle coming up. Because if you mass cohorts, you can do very nicely for yourself. But you really got to dedicate to them. Yeah, he is going field yard, so we are probably going to see a lot of cohorts. I would expect to see a center yard as well to get some Quebecs, just because they tank nicely for cohorts. But some guys prefer to just have massed cohorts because of their good damage. Cohorts versus B8? That's a tricky one, because, I mean, he does have the advantage in numbers. Because, let's see, these bugs, if the bugs are in swarms and if they're moving around, then they can sort of match the cohorts. But if they're standing up and fighting, then they will die to the cohorts very quickly. So these bugs are going to die pretty fast. And then I think... Oh, he got scouted. So yeah, this thing's going to be in danger. He was trying to board that scout. Oh, he did board that scout. He stole the Borg scout. So Itachi paid an annoying price for discovering this location. But it's been discovered, so I mean it's not safe anymore. It's going to get killed eventually. Although, depending on the Borg positioning, or the Romulan positioning, they may be able to stop the Borg from going after that. They certainly need to keep that scouted. That guy right there. So, The Borg could even go for like an EM adapter, because that's the only Borg cloak detect that will detect this, because the EM cubes, can detect cloak, but only if they're firing. The EM adapter level, like dual EM adapter, is the one that can detect cloak even without fighting. So here, if I were these Borgs, I would be building more miners. I would be building more miners as everybody. As you can see now, Itachi has learned. He's getting his nodes level 2. He's doing that nice and early. And actually he does have more miners. The Borg cannot really do one miner, or one node for 2 moons, I think. I think they do start to... Well, no, I guess as long as this one gets back and gets its beam on there before this one's done. I guess they can do 3 miners for 1 node. I don't think they can get away with 4. But maybe he only needs 3. I guess this is his plan, to stick with this. So, yeah, he's getting his scout cubes and dodes. He isn't saving up any collective connections. But maybe that's fine. I mean, he's getting this upgrade here. I'm pretty sure he did finish that. I don't think he canceled it. Meanwhile, where are they fighting? Hello. Okay, here we have some Cavorts raiding. I wonder if they were attacking the B8 or if they killed off a worker successfully. They do have a lot of damage, and that B8 is getting physics blocked really badly. But it's still going to make it into the yard. There's not enough of them here. And here come the bugs. So these Cavorts, this is an interesting position. Because these Cavorts, I think they can kill stuff. Yeah, they killed that worker. They can kill these bugs. They have enough firepower, but they really got to be careful. If you start taking damage, you don't want to lose a single Cavort in this battle. That is his goal, is to play this game and not lose a single ship. And he's... Oh! Did it decloak? What went on? I don't know, but he did lose one. Now this one got rammed, so its engines are down. I would recommend cloaking out. There he goes. He's going to cloak, and he's going to get away. Oh, and a weapon hit! So he loses cloak and dies. That was just really unlucky. Oh, that stinks. So, I mean, because that bug rammed and the other ones were killed, that did kill off 3 bugs and several miners. But he lost 2 Cavorts. And I don't know, I mean, these are valuable ships. They're on the expensive end of cheap small ships. It looks like he's really going for Susa, is what he's planning to do. So there's that field yard for repair purposes. There's this one. Okay, he's hoping to Susa spam. Interesting. So Cavort Susa, that is a really high firepower combination. However, it's also all short range, so a couple T-15s from the Dominion would really affect that. And here we see the Romulans decloaking on a Borg fleet. There's 5 Griffins. That's kind of risky, I don't know. They need to kill off that EM cube. There goes the sensor jammer, and as you can see, they got 2 dodes in the cube for 6 seconds. But if they don't kill off that EM cube, they can just keep on losing ships because it'll keep them decloaked. And here they're going to lose a Griffin. They have another sensor jammer. Didn't get weapons on anybody. And this Griffin... Okay, so that wasn't such a bad trade. Oh, they did get a Dode. Never mind. Okay, these Griffins are doing amazingly well. They're 28 offense. That's really scary. I did not realize they were killing those Dodes. These things don't have much damage. Oh, and there's a regen cube, which I tend to dislike. But, oh man, they might even do enough damage to kill off the scout cube. If he doesn't control this very carefully to get away. Okay. But now his cloak detect is in danger, so he would have to get more. So Itachi's really hurting there. And here, what is that? That scout just got captured. I wonder how they detected that. Does he have his ping? No, he doesn't. So he is using the boarding effect on these B8s as best he can. As you can see, Shadow is about to decloak on him, I think. And this will be a very careful fight. Once these B8s turn around, their firepower really goes down because they're shooting backward torpedoes at small ships. They have to keep facing the enemy to get to use their pulses. But they're in danger of losing a ship like that. This Cavort micro is really going to change the outcome of this battle. But I think who is it? Defiant is in a bit of trouble here. He's losing that B8. The cost doesn't really matter to him, but the supplies do. Here he cloaks. We see if he gets an engine, or I mean a weapon hit. He did not. And this is a, what is, oh, that is a scout. That is a pinging scout that has been given to him by his ally, Prodigy. That is bad for him. Like with that there, he's not going to be able to cloak any of this stuff. And this Cavort mis-microed. Oh man, you can be in the middle of a nice fair fight and all of a sudden a little mis-micro and you lose a ship like that. Oh, that was a dishonorable death. So you see this B8 taking a lot of firepower, and now these Susa... Oh my goodness. Oh, that's because it's using its ability, I think, yeah. Was it weapon fatigue? Or last ditch assault? Yeah, so those things get really high damage when that's active, and you can see these B8s, once the B8s start to run, they're in big trouble. Usually you want like one of them to run and the other ones to keep facing and keep firing or something, because they're not doing any damage to these Cavorts. The Cavorts can just chase them freely. But now they're going to turn around and the Cavorts will be in trouble and they're going to have to run. But the pinging scout's there, so these Cavorts are in a lot of danger. They are going to get a B8 kill because all these guys were ordered to repair. But hey, these things turn around. He could even board these because they're cloaked, but he has them detected. He could try that, like he could be boarding one of them and attacking the others. It took him too long to get these guys through that yard, and so the Cavorts are going to escape. But as long as this scout is here, it's a really dangerous position for those Klingons. So let me see if I can, what else I can find. We have the tech station. He might even not even worry about his cloak detect for a little while since he has a pinging scout from the Romulans now. He's going into S2 production just like he always wanted to. Which, I don't know, I mean, those, I guess the Susas, what is it, the weapons? Yeah, or extra damage against stations, that doesn't do too much. Last Ditch Assault gives them a nice big offense upgrade, and then they lose offense for a while, but also the cloaking device cannot be used, which is huge because it makes them a lot more vulnerable to death. But these are fun ships, I mean, they have lots of offensive value. But, so this is a nice little cluster here, and this Borg sphere is a regen torpedo sphere. So it's going to be pretty tanky. These Borg ships, if these go into battle with the sphere, they're all going to die pretty easily. Although, these ones, 24, so the Susas and these Cavorts are going to be fired at first. So over here, oh, and the Romulans are coming too, so this is going to be a big mashup over here. Everybody's here. I hope he has Allied Repair. Hint, hint. I really hope he has Allied Repair. And IS Bomb would be huge right now. He needs an IS Bomb to keep these Klingons from escaping. And the Borg. Because if he could disable engines, then he could get some more kills when these guys try to run away. So here we have the Griffins. Oh man, they really need that Allied Repair. There it goes. But will it be quick enough? I think it's going to be too late. So everybody's about to decloak here. And we're going to see what happens when the dust settles. There goes an S2 dying very quickly. The S2s, they're vulnerable to these short-range Klingon ships, so that's nasty. There goes a Doge just instantly down. And the sphere got its weapons disabled, which is nasty, but it's going to start firing now. We see these Klingon ships getting hit nastily, and there's the pinging scout, but it is dead. The Borg focused that down right away. So these Klingon ships, I think a lot of Klingon ships are dying. It's hard to tell. The Griffin is dying there. I think the sphere, it all comes down to whether the bottom team has enough firepower to kill the sphere after everything else is dead. You can see the Klingons are retreating and the Borg are going to lose their stuff. This sphere is going to get another Griffin kill though. And this sphere is going to die. It all comes down to whether this sphere gets away or not. And if the bottom team had engine hooks, it definitely wouldn't. Now it's regenerating at full speed. I don't know, it's going to chase off another Griffin, but it's not going to get the kill because it can't chase. These Cavorts are coming in to take some firepower off of it. That's all that needs to happen, is a little bit of support. But I don't think he's dealing enough damage to this pursuing fleet. Oh, there's a Griffin kill he might get, but once again it turns and escapes. And that valiant Cavort is going to die. So this sphere has to keep running. And the bottom team is going to give up the pursuit. They were taking too much damage, but this guy, he's got the engine hooks. This means that his sensor jammer has a small chance to disable engines as well. Which, once again, the IS bomb on these B8s, that would have made the sphere die there. And so basically, if they had that ability, they would have won the game instantly by killing that sphere. However, they didn't, so... Oh, okay, I want to clarify. There is a misconception. Because the EM cube, it detects cloak while it's firing. But the devs were like, couldn't you just have that attack one of your own things and have that activate? So what they did is they gave it a defensive measure. The EM field is actually a hidden weapon that you can't see that's on this cube that does nothing except for cloak detect, and you cannot control it. It will only attack enemies. So basically that was jargon, but the result is if you attack your own stuff with an EM cube, it does not reveal cloak. It has to be attacking an enemy. Just so you know, for future reference. Because I've tried that. I've totally tried that. In fact, a lot of us have tried having our little EM cubes attack each other back before the devs just told us that we were being stupid. So, this diamond, this is a very interesting timed diamond. It's a diamond that doesn't have... Never mind, I was about to say it's a diamond that doesn't have nanites, but maybe it does. But now he's going to be very low on supply and connections. So, well, okay, his connections are going to be just fine, I guess, but he needs supply. And so does his Klingon ally. Klingons, yeah, the Klingons are desperate for supply too. And, I mean, they can buy, but... So what he needs to do now is start funneling resources into incubation chambers. Absolutely. Like, right now, he should be building. He should be building until he has, like, 3 of them. And like I said, I was talking about this in one of the previous games, but my mic was really quiet. You only have one constructor as the Borg, so you need to be aware of that, and you need to get some connections up, and you need to make sure that you're building these things. Because what's going to happen is about 5 minutes, he's going to realize, I should really get some supply. And he's going to be like, oh, I have enough money to build 3 incubation chambers. And he's going to want 3 incubation chambers, and he's only going to have 1 constructor. And it's going to take him a very long time to get them. So you can't forget about your constructor as Borg. It always has to be working. Now the Romulans, I feel like the Romulans should have a lot more ships than this. So the Romulan player has taken his Griffins, and meanwhile he is mining out of 4 moon pairs, and he has built a Tavara and Norexans. He has gone super heavy economy. Dual warbird yards, cloaking, he needs to buy supply, but after that he'll just keep producing. I did not even see this happen. I guess it makes sense, he would have had a lot more Griffins by now. So I don't know where else he's fighting. Oh, okay. The Klingon Seuses are just going to decimate this. You can see they're very slow at killing off the miners. They're a whole lot faster at killing off the yard, so it's dead. It's definitely dead. In fact, those Sousa, what he needs to do now is do a nice little Klingon raid. He needs to split these into groups of like 3 or 4 and hit every single expansion that belongs to the Romulans. That's the way you do it. Because the Romulans are very bad at defending those areas, but now they've got their little Griffins. Let's see, and as you can see, like these guys are mining. The Klingons are mining off of 3 pairs. The Borg are only mining off of 2, which is a big problem on these maps that we've seen, is because the Borg can't expand that effectively. The Romulans are mining out of 4, now 5. And these guys were mining out of 3, but they're going to lose this. But he's playing... Because the Borg player... That's the other thing is, this is why the Borg needs skewbs. Even though their skewbs are really not useful in other forms of combat at this stage of the game, you need to have skewbs so that you can just send them to kill this. Because the moment he scouted this, he needed to kill it. Like, 1 intercept skewb could have killed all this. At least all the miners. And could have killed all of this as well, because the Romulans are terrible at getting yards. Ooh, and I think he has a ping over here. Or maybe these guys just weren't cloaked properly. I should really be doing tech updates. Okay, so he is getting his remote beacon. He has T-15s coming out, which are going to tank very nicely for these. The bottom team is in a very good position right now. I mean, here's a nanite diamond, but they don't realize there's a Tavara here. They don't realize there's all these Norexans, and even though these guys are pulse-based, they do deal 50% extra damage to long range, which is the diamond. So there's the griffins, like, raiding this area here. And there's going to be a vet griffin, which is very nice. So the bottom team, I think, is going to win this. Oh, the beautiful Tavara. Look at that thing die. Ah, that's because of the Norexans, by the way. They've just burned all of their special energy on their attack special. And this thing is regenerating very nicely. It's too bad they didn't get that kill, and I don't know if they're going to get that one either. Because you see the damage. Oh, the Borg ships are spreading damage. These warbirds are so fragile. Man. I hate that about warbirds. I miss the old days when we had shield restore on the generic support, so that one's going to die. This Tavara is very beefy. And if he can make sure that the Tavara gets the kill on the diamond and stuff, then he can get lots of experience. But oh man, just look at these Romulan ships die. Ouch, they only have 34 defense. I mean, yeah, they cloak, but... Oh, man. I don't think you realize that the Tavara itself... Oh, well, it's in kind of a dangerous spot. I mean, I'm pretty sure it can chase these guys off. Did they actually... They didn't even kill the sphere because it escaped, just barely, but... This Tavara could be in danger, because when those nanites are down, it can't cloak, and they could disable the engine. He will kill the diamond before he dies, but the diamond could pop nanites and run right now. He needs to... Oh, he's going away. And there's the decloak nanites that are going to disable his weapons any second now. Or I think they do. There's supposed to be a special effect on nanites that if there's a cloaked ship in the nanite swarm, its weapons are automatically disabled and it has to decloak. But no, he's stuck. So that's kind of disappointing. I feel like that was just more of a racial thing. If he had given his resources over to the Dominion player, then the Dominion player could have built, you know, like 5 or 6 yards worth of battleships, and he would have won that fight. Here we see Bottom Team trying desperately to take out this field yard. I don't know, I think he would have done better killing off the expansions first, because here comes the big fleet! Oh man, this is really going to go the top team's way if he isn't careful. He does have IS bomb, so he might be able to run, but he didn't get the yard! There goes one IS bomb. But it just barely missed. It didn't get... Oh, okay, it got a couple. But all this Dominion fleet is facing the wrong way with all their forward-firing weaponry. There's an IS bomb. That one will work. Boom, all these guys are disabled. Wait, what? Is there a failure chance or a limit on IS bomb? Because that definitely hit these guys. So this is different. I was not expecting this. The bottom team just got their butts kicked twice. That's weird. I was sure that all those Norexans would be really nasty. But this thing's about to run out of crew. He needs to start boarding this, or his Tavara is going to drop. He doesn't realize it. That was weird, the way that those spheres and that diamond really messed up his fleet. Like, it's easy to forget. I mean, if they had killed the sphere, then they could have just cloaked out and left. But they didn't kill the sphere. It only got down to like 10% health. And he's not going to realize this, and he's not going to get his Tavara. It's going to drop any minute now. And these... Oh no, don't attack with these. What are you doing? You can't kill any of this. You just need to go back, buy a supply, and get more. He bought supply twice. You just need... I mean, you could do with more Norexans if you really wanted to. Although, I say that, but these Susas will rip apart Norexans. Norexans take extra damage from short range. And hence is the problem with the current Romulans, is that their warbirds are crap, or they're limited. They only get, like, the Norexan and the Tavara are the only advanced warbirds they get. And the Norexan is so easy to counter. Anything short range, anything torpedo damage, anything large because it has heavy pulse damage, will just kill Norexans. So his Norexans aren't able to handle this battle. The Tavara is about to go into the yard, but it's going to take it a minute to get its crew back. It would be tragic if these guys make it back. before the crew is up on this Tavara. They're gonna get back. They're gonna do it. They're gonna attack while this thing is still recrewing, and since it takes 800 crew, it's not gonna be ready yet. It's so sad. Oh man. So the top team are really taking advantage of this. Still going. Yep. Still sitting here. Yards taking damage. Wait, here we go. Here we go. Okay, I'm done, guys. Okay, let's start fighting. Let's see if we can... Okay, here we go. Huge damage going down on the sphere. All the Nerexians use their ability, and they focus fire this time. There go their specials. They got one diamond disabled on that, and one sphere. So they could kill that sphere while it's regenerating. That's how you do it properly. Although he did lose a lot of griffins, I think. Okay, now he might get a diamond kill. It's really too bad he didn't get engine hooks on this griffin special. Because even just one engine disable right now would kill a Borg ship. Although he has to be careful. Yep, there goes another griffin. There goes another one if he isn't careful. That diamond will kill that. Yep, dead griffin. Okay, so that's how you kill a sphere. Wait, who's fighting? Who's fighting? Oh, okay. Here we go. Oh, the Dominion are in big trouble. Okay, they are managing to repair. The T-15s are just brutal, or they tank very well against these Seuses and stuff. Oh, Ice Bomb a little bit late. Although he did get some kills. I didn't see just how many kills he got. You can see he has his remote ping now, and there's an engine disabled one. The Ice Bomb just barely hit it. So he's going to ping in just a second here and see this cavort and kill it. At least I hope he does. I mean, just because it's right there. Shadow certainly hopes he doesn't. He's like, please don't ping me. Okay. And here Shadow's looking to expand. So here, the Romulans want to go again, but no, you don't understand. You have to have full special energy on a Nerexian in order to enter this battle. It's not even worth it without the special energy, and you're not going to get that if you're cloaked. You have to take your Nerexians back, turn off their special ability because it lowers their energy regeneration rate, and have them sit there for a minute while they get their special energy back, and then you can fight. That's just the key rule of Nerexians. So what is he producing? He's paused his Nerexians and he's going full Griffins, although he just has ridiculous amounts of money. I'm surprised he isn't. He should be sharing it. I mean, he could get up a third Wardburg yard, or I mean, he could just unpause on these. The Dominion, like I say, the Dominion, at this point, they could just run like 5 yards, pumping T-15s. Oh, there's a Borg decloaked, and he is going to do a ton of damage to this diamond, because it was already damaged. There's one Nerexian died. There's a Griffin dying. Let's see, did he get any engine disables with his veteran pulse? No, he didn't. Okay, there goes another Griffin. That Nerexian is going to die. For sure. Although this diamond is also going to die. So man, lots of resources. The amount of money that's dying right now is just incredible. Oh, but the Klingons are here, so this Romulan fleet is going to die. They are so gone. All this extra damage to the Nerexian from the Susas, and this Tavara is probably going to die. That's sad. I like the Tavara, but I don't see it getting out. We'll see if the nanites do their trick. Oh wait, he's out of nanites. He lost his diamonds. Never mind, they can get away. So they live. Itachi's like, oh, so close. Okay, well now they're going to go base wrecking. I don't even know what a veteran Susa... Oh. Double torpedoes. And here, okay. So, over here, Defiant wanted to finish that job. You see all this pulse damage is going to be really slow to take this down. But it's going to go. That pesky yard that didn't really cost that much money to build. He's just annoyed at it. That's the one thing, is these field yards, they have a ton of hit points, but they cost almost nothing. So, although, did he decom something? I'm confused. I think Shadow might have decommed some of his production. I don't understand what other factories he would have had, unless this one got stripped of its expansions. So here you see these guys, oh, they're capturing this yard. That's actually kind of nice, because then the Klingons can use it to repair. Although it might go kind of slowly. Okay, it's decomming, so they're just going to have to kill it. So what do we have? We have the Dominion are in a very dangerous spot, but did the Klingons? I guess the Klingon fleet has really been whittled down over time. I'm surprised there isn't more of it, because this is not very many ships right here. Yeah, I wonder if I missed, like, more of these Klingon ships dying, or if they've just been dying steadily throughout the game. But it looks like people are base trading now. We got the spheres and the Klingons working together, and the bottom team's economy is just so much better than the top team's right now. Here's this Tavara. He really wants to get kills on the Tavara. He doesn't want anybody else here to get kills except for the Tavara, because the Tavara wants experience. Like, yeah, you got your veteran B8 with its critical hit chance and its, like, massive crew reserve, 725 crew. This thing has almost as much crew as the Tavara. Tavara kill? But yeah, you'd still want the Tavara to get the experience. Here, though, we have, yeah, the Warbird yards are going to get hit pretty hard. All these Sousas ranking up, getting supply for their owner. Although did he decom stuff, or he just didn't have very much. So yeah, obviously all the miners go pretty quickly. The cloaking station isn't cloaking. It could be. Whoa, hello, engine hooks. Who has engine hooks? Okay, yeah. The Sousa is nasty. Oh, there it is, Cavort. This dude. The ranked up, the officer Cavort has the engine hooks as part of its attack, which has been a staple of Fleet Ops gameplay for quite a while now, and it's huge. I mean, in this case it doesn't matter much, but engine disables, you know, these guys have area engine disables, but even a single target engine disable is very nice. So here's the Tavara. Yay, it got a rank. 1 rank. We're happy for you. He's going to kill the sensor station. And here the Borg. Okay, the Borg are going to lose their transmission. Although it's the supply stations that they really care about right now. Or even more than that, it's the fact that he wants to get a cube. Okay, he has too many resources. I feel like Shadow must have been feeding him resources. Yep. I mean, he might have something over here now. So Shadow has been giving all of his resources over to Itachi, and they've been hoping to build a cube. But they can't build a cube. You can't build a cube right now because this fleet will come kill it. The only way you can build a cube is if they don't know you're doing it. So maybe if they build a cube, like, down here someplace, you might even run into these Romulan tech buildings by mistake. And, oh, there's a Griffin fleet. That's what Star Master Prodigy... That is right, yeah. That's what Star Master Prodigy has been doing this whole time, since he stopped building Nyrexans. He's just been spamming Griffins like crazy with his 5 mining stations worth. I guess it only ever hit 4, but his 4 mining stations worth. And so yeah, this thing's gonna die. It's had its offense upgraded once, but that's all. And here you can see it's being tanked. Oh, this one spreads out its damage over different targets. And there, that energy vortex you see is from the T-15. It doesn't happen very often, but it causes them to rank up very quickly, which allows you to get to veteran, which is horribly nasty. And it is a lot of damage. Those T-15s are nothing to laugh at when they get that high. Oh man, the Klingons just attacked in the middle of this. Not real. Why did they attack into the starbase? Oh no, that's terrible. So the top team is forfeited basically. But I mean, they are killing Griffins. Many Griffins are dying in this battle, that's for sure. I wonder where the Nyrexan went. Maybe it died too. Now it's time for the Sphere to start taking damage, and it'll regenerate, but they're gonna kill it before its energy is even done. It can't even out-regenerate that damage. And all of this fighting is happening in the starbase range. You need to run over here where there's no starbase fire. The thing is 110 offensive value. Worth of damage hitting you. And you know, the trick is, like, he could have run... Oh, now he's engine disabled. Yep, the veteran Griffin got him. And he's stuck. But yeah, like, that's what you do. You throw down nanites and then you run. And then the enemy chases you. And then some of their ships get disabled by nanites and some of them don't. And that's how you end up engaging half of their fleet at once instead of the whole fleet at once. But yeah, that was a great game. That was fun to watch. For just a minute there after those Nerexians died, I thought the top team was going to get it. But as you've seen, the game still really comes down to who's mining more. If one team gets an economic advantage like that and holds on to it, I mean, you can see here the Borg had a cube worth right there. They just didn't have a chance to build it, but it's all about how much you mine. And in this game, the bottom team just outmined and outsurvived the top team. So yeah, great game, guys. I look forward to putting this one up. And this is Triptych signing off.